Hey everybody, it's Robin with ShinePages, and today I wanted to show you the steps from how to set up to deliver a lead magnet. So I was just talking with a few different people recently, and there was just kind of some questions that people had about how to go through the process of doing this on your website. So I wanted to kind of just take you behind the scenes and just in a casual way show you the steps that you can take to do this. So having a lead magnet of some sort, whether it is a worksheet that you're giving away, printable, some sort of checklist, a guide, an ebook, something like that is something of value that you can then give away to your audience in exchange for you getting their name and email. So it's a great way to start to be seen as somebody that has things of value to give away, and also to build your email list. So there's a few different components in doing this. One, a way to actually capture their name and email. Two, the actual thing you're giving away, again, whether it is a PDF document. You can also do the same thing with a video series that you're doing or something like that. In this example, I'm going to show with a PDF document, but a freebie or a lead magnet can take different forms. So there are different ways to do it. But this is just one simple way of a simple form, collect their information, have the actual PDF document to deliver to them. And maybe that's instantly via a page. And then also following up with an email that also sends that freebie lead magnet to the person, okay, that's requested it. So I'm going to take you through the steps and walk you through step by step. So first of all, collecting their information. So you can do this via a form. And a form is a simple widget here within ShinePages that you can add to any page or to any pop-up. Now, there's a couple different ways that you can go about this. I've added this form, so you can just, again, drag a form widget onto the page wherever you'd like it to show up. In this case, it's going to show up with name, email, subject, and message. That's kind of the default on how it comes through. But I'm going to just remove subject and email because I don't need those. Just delete those out. I can have these kind of stacked one on top of the other. You can also resize them with these little arrows, and then they're short enough where they can be side by side. Kind of depends on how much room you have or where you're putting this form in line on your page. But this is different ways you can do it. This form can be kind of scooched in a little bit. I can center it here within my space, maybe give me a little bit more room here. And then my submit button and my actual form fields themselves, I can go ahead and change the styling on those too. So you're going to change the styling by clicking the little paintbrush icon. And this is where you can style the labels and the fields, different colors, sizes of text, the font family, etc. You can choose all of that for the styling. And the same thing with the button. So you could choose different colors here. You can choose text styling for your buttons, the size, the color, bold, etc., the spacing between things. So you can do all of this. So I can make it a little bit bigger. And there we go. There's a padding. I could make it rounded with a radius. I could add a border to it. So again, styling up your form. And then the last thing you're going to do before you leave anywhere you're adding your form, you want to click once on the form and go to the form's settings. This is the little gear wheel or the cog wheel icon. It's always going to get you to your settings of whatever element you're on. And in this case, you do want to always make sure with any forms on your site that you do name them so that you know what it is. And that way in your CRM or your contacts section, you can always go and search for, I want to see all the contacts that came in on just this form. So you can search by form. Then you're also going to be able to sort and organize and filter and pull your contacts based on the tag that you give them. And you can do this here in the form settings too. So it's very important wherever you have your form that you are naming your form. And then you are also tagging people within this form. You're also going to want to connect whoever comes through this form to an email list so that you can deliver that freebie, that PDF document, that video series, whatever it might be. You can deliver it to them not only immediately upon a page, perhaps, and also send it to them via email. That's what most people expect these days. They expect to not only maybe get that thing they're asking for maybe immediately on a page, but also have it be sent via email. So there's a couple of ways you're going to do this. So again, it all takes place in the settings. The settings is important. We're going to go here to our form, click that little gear wheel. We get to our settings. And again, I'm going to call this one, let's say free, the name of the guide, whatever it is. I'll just call it free guide form. If it has a name, your specific forms, you might have different freebies, different giveaways, different lead magnets, name it what it is. And then if you want to add the word form, this is the form name here. You can choose, if you'd like, to get a notification every time somebody fills out this form. You can do that by just putting your email address right in here, okay? The button text, you can change this to say, yes, please give me this guide or whatever it is you want to say. And then your action upon submit, we're going to come back to this. Right now, it's just going to show a general thank you message, but I'm going to show you a few different ways that you can do things, and I'll come back to this here, because not only can you show a thank you message, you could also send them to a thank you page that you have created. So again, I could say here, go to a page. I would create my page, my thank you page, and then I would link to it right here. Now, I did actually create a page. It's underneath my pages, website pages. And in this case, I named one called Lead Magnet Thanks. You would want to do that in advance, or you could always come back to the step and just choose your thank you page once you've created it. Okay, so in this case, I do have the Lead Magnet thank you page, and I want to open this in a same tab or a new tab. You can choose. I'm going to hit select, and I'm going to keep going down here in my forms settings. Now, if you are going to have it go to a thank you page and you want things like their name to show up, where you say thank you and then the name, you can do that. You can say pass submitted values over to the next page, yes or no on this one. Right here down below, this is where the ever important tag is going to show up. So I'm going to tag anybody that comes through this form with a specific tag. So in this case, this is the name of my guide that I'm giving away. In this case, it's called Free Guide, and maybe they are a Free Guide lead. So that's going to be the tag that I create for anybody that comes through this form. I'm now going to know that they're all going to be tagged with the name of my form or the name of my giveaway and a lead. So I know that all these people came through this form, and I might want to follow up with them in a specific way because I know they're interested in that topic that it is I'm giving away. So again, I'm adding a tag right here. I have a tag set for Free Guide lead. You can add as many tags as you want. Tags are going to be how, again, you filter and sort your contacts. And it's also going to be what you're going to use for any triggering of automated emails that might go out after the fact. So tags are important. And then right here, we're going to have connect to email marketing. So this is where you're going to be able to choose what list you want to use. Again, this is if you are using the email and automations function within ShinePages. If you are using a third-party email provider, such as MailChimp, MailerLite, GetResponse, ActiveCampaign, Aweber, one of those, we do integrate directly with all of those email service providers. So you can actually connect that. You would connect that over here in your settings, go to your applications, and here's where you can connect to these different email marketing platforms. You can connect to those there. And if you were using one of those, instead of connecting to this is the ShinePages email marketing, there would be a button at the bottom that would say, for example, MailChimp settings, if you were connected to MailChimp. And in that case, you would connect that button, click that button, choose which list within MailChimp that you want to have these people go to, and it will automatically send them over to MailChimp when they fill out this form. Okay, so again, then you would do your automations, sending out of your emails through MailChimp, or I'm going to show you in this case, you're going to connect to the email and automation function under the umbrella of ShinePages. And in this case, you're going to select your ShinePages list. So right now I don't have any set up. I can add a list. This is going to be my leads list. And I'm going to add anybody that comes through this form directly onto a leads list. Okay, I'll show you how this all works in the end. So again, we have a form now. I'm going to just make this button a little smaller because it's kind of huge. Okay, so we got this and we're good to go. So now again, this is a form that I had placed, just on the page itself, right? You could also do something where instead of having the form be on a page, you could just have a button, for example, that says, get the guide. And then it could pop open a pop-up and the form can be placed inside of the pop-up. So you could do that too. Let's say I wanted to do that. Instead of having an actual form on my page where people are seeing the fields for name and email, you want to make it inside of a pop-up. You could do that. I'm going to click that I'm going to want to send this over to a pop-up. And here I'm going to go down to my list, choose pop-up. I already have one created here, my lead magnet form pop-up, and I'm going to select it. So now if somebody clicks this button, they will see that I have a pop-up. And on that pop-up, I have done the same thing. I've added a form to that pop-up. Okay, I can actually take this form, copy it. I'm going to save it here in my copied items folder, and I'm going to just show you what that pop-up looks like. This is the one I created. Sure, I'll save. So again, just a basic form, just a basic pop-up, I should say. And then again, that form that I just created and just did all the settings for, you can either do that inline right on your page, or you're going to add that form or create a form on your pop-up. In this case, I'm just going to pull over that same form I just created. And so now I have a pop-up, and the pop-up has a form on it. Again, if I click and go to the settings of my form, it's the same thing. So I have the name of the form. I can be notified if I want to every time this is filled out. Again, the button text, you can choose. Where is it going to go afterward? In this case, I'm sending it to a lead magnet thank you page that I had created in advance. Again, you can do that after the fact and come back to this. And if you wanted to have a thank you page, or just say quick little message and say, show a thank you message. Thanks so much. Check your inbox. You'll be getting it soon. Something like that. Okay, but in this case, I'm going to have it go to that page, that lead magnet thank you page, connecting it to that list, my leads list, all set, tagging that contact. So now we have a form, whether it's on your page or whether it's in a pop-up that they have to click a button to get to. In either case, you have a form. Now, what do you also need? You need the PDF to actually give away, right? Again, we were talking about PDFs in this case. It could be that you're delivering a series of videos, whatever it is. In this case, I'm choosing to display or demo this with a PDF document. Okay, so let's save this. We have our form, wherever it is. Now we need to make sure that this form is actually going to be able to be delivered via the PDF. So if I go into my website settings here, and I'm going to go to my file manager, view all files. Your file manager here, this is where you can load up your pictures, you can load custom font files, you can load PDF files, you can load a lot of different things in here, just not video. But if you have a PDF document like I do here, I have just a demo PDF document, you can load it here into your file manager. Maybe make things easier for yourself and create different folders. So this is my PDFs folder. And, maybe you have a folder for your headshots. And maybe you have a folder for your logos, whatever. Just keep yourself organized. Not a huge deal. Again, if I have PDF folder, I would click on that PDF. I would upload a file. And I'm just going to add that right back again. It's my dummy PDF document. Okay, so now I know I have this sitting here. Okay, now as you will recall on our form, we decided to, instead of just displaying a thank you message, we decided to send it over to a page. And I had pre-made this page, and I'll just show it to you. You can always add a new page here. You can add a page, and there's a bunch of different thank you page options for you, or start with a blank template. Again, this would be a thank you page option. You hit select, or there's different ones you can choose from. Name your page, thank you, lead magnet, thank you, etc. Again, I already had one set. I created a page here. And this is what this page looks like. Just basically says, thanks, here's your download. If you want to tell them more text, you can. And then this button here, this is the button that's going to actually let them open up that PDF document. So again, you're collecting their name and email, and then you're sending them to a page where they can then open it up, right? So you've got their name and email, and now you're going to deliver the goods. So on this button itself, you're going to click a link. And in this case, instead of sending them to a page or a pop-up, you are going to send them to a file. So you're going to actually allow them to open up a PDF document as a file here, because this is where you get to deliver the goods. So you're going to choose File, and we already uploaded our PDF document. So when I click here, click on File, here's my PDFs folder. I had uploaded my PDF, and it's right here. So I'm going to click PDF, hit Select. Whenever you're allowing people to download something or sending them off of your site in any way with maybe an external link, I always like to open it up in a new tab. That way they're going to stay on your site, and a new tab opens with the actual document. Okay, you can name it whatever it is, free guide name, and hit select. Okay, so now I'm just going to make this button a little darker so everybody can see it better. Okay, save this. And now if I go out and do my preview, you'll see that if I click on this, I'm going to show it. Oh, let's see if this is going to work. Let me change it so you guys can see everything. Not sure how to do that here. Entire screen, share. Sorry guys, just popping over here. There we go, and here we go again. I think this is going to work now. Okay, so now if I go out and view this in the preview, okay, I would probably change some things about the way this page looks, but I could hit download now, and I hope you'll be able to see this. This is opening it up in a brand new document. Okay, it's opening up in a new tab. I am delivering my PDF document. So again, I've captured their name and information. I've tagged them. I've added them to an email list. I'll show you where that comes in next. And I've sent them to a page where they can automatically download and deliver what I promised them, right? So that is a big chunk of the sequence. And then the last thing is actually delivering it via email as well. So I'll show you that part too. All right, so let's see here. We're going to go back all the way to here. Okay, so again, if you are sending this out via a MailChimp, MailerLite, one of the other email service providers, you would do all of that automation over there. I'm not going to show you how to do that in all those different platforms, but I will show you how to set up an automation based on a trigger in the ShinePages emails and automation function here. So again, as you remember, I'll go back to it. On our page, I think I was on our home page. On our home page here, and on the form, wherever the form happens to live, the form happens to live on your homepage. The form happens to live in a pop-up that somebody can get to. So you can decide where things live, right? Where this form lives. Let's make sure this button actually links to the pop-up. Yep, it's linking right to that pop-up. Okay, so in any case, wherever the form lives, you have set the settings of this form to be notified. You have a form name. It's, in this case, going to the thank you page. That's important to deliver it. Or you can just say, check your email and then only have them do the email part. That's fine too. You have selected a list and connected it to email marketing, and you have given them a tag. Okay, so all these things were set up on the form side. Collected the information. In one case, you bring them to a page that's a thank you page where you actually deliver the product by linking to a file. And then finally, you're going to link and give them this email with the attachment of the PDF document here. Okay, so again, emails and automations. We're going to open this up and I'll show you how to make this work here. So going over to our email and automation, and see here there's an automations tab. So again, if you haven't yet started with email and automations, you can check out what this is all about. You get a small amount of subscribers for free. You do have to pay for additional subscribers. So again, you can choose which platform you use. We just happen to have this one in-house. Under your settings, this is where you would go to add your own domain, set your default, system senders and stuff. There's some little instructions here. But once you have that all set up, you're good to go. You can send a small amount of emails at first, and then as you grow and as you prove, that you send out quality emails and you're not getting a bunch of spam and stuff back, then we'll increase the number of emails you can send. Okay, but for right now, let's just talk about automations. We're going to create an automation. Let's just call this new free guide automation and hit submit. So this is the way you set up different automations. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to select your automation trigger. Now on our form, right, we set a tag, and that's what I'm going to use here. You can have different triggers to kick off an automation or a flow that people are going to enter into. In this case, you can say that that is started by somebody being added to a list for the first time, or removed from a list, or a tag is added, a tag is removed, something about the property has changed, and then some more are coming soon. So making a purchase, visiting a page, etc. You can actually do quite a lot though with just tags. So again, that's what I'm going to use right now. So tag is added. This is what I'm going to use. The tag we had as a part of that form was free guide lead. So that's the one I'm going to use. So now anybody, when they first get this free guide lead added to them, as long as the automation is turned on first, and then they get the tag added to them after the fact, it will now start to kick off that automation of emails for them. So again, free guide lead, hit confirm. That is our trigger. The trigger is anybody that gets that tag added. And then we're going to add steps into our automation. So you can maybe delay it if you need to, or just right away send an email. So, here it is. Here's, as promised, that's a good one, as promised. Here is your lead magnet, your guide, whatever it might be. This is your name, your email here at email.com, whatever it might be. Okay, and then start building the email. Now you can start from scratch, or you can use any number of these ones that are all set to go. I'm going to just start with this one. Okay, so now we're in the email builder. Again, this is similar to a page builder. A little bit different. There's slightly more restrictions because it is just coming through via email. And so we can just add your logo here, etc. Thank you for requesting this guide. And then your call to action button here, I'm going to say download it now. Okay. On this, we're going to have this, oops. Thank you for signing up. Let's just go back here. Thank you for signing up for the guide. All right, so we have that now. Download it, save it. Okay. Oops, I'm actually going to go back into the editing of it. Download the guide. Right over here to the side, this is where you're going to set where the button link is. Okay. So we're going to select a link, file, choose that PDF, hit select. Again, where do you want to open it? Probably new tab. You can name it free guide and hit select. So now somebody's going to get an email saying, thank you so much. Here's your guide. So again, you delivered it to them potentially on a thank you page. And also you're sending them an email. Because they had that tag, they will get triggered to have that email sent to them right away. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that process. So here now they have a trigger and the email gets sent. Now, I do want to let you all know something that is important about these automation flows. If you want to, this is a great opportunity to start to nurture your list, right? So not only just sending them this one time, here's your thing, but then maybe you have another email. Hey, I wanted to get to know you. Thanks so much. Let me tell you a little bit about me. Here's some of the services I offer. How can I solve this problem? Have you ever had this happen? Series of emails that might go through where you can kind of have the person on the other end get to know you, get to learn more about you. You can show up in their inbox. Maybe you want to drive them towards booking a call. Maybe you want to drive them towards purchasing a product. You can do all of those things by setting up a series of emails that might go out in this order. So again, on any sort of automation flow, you can say, now I want to just, delay. Let's set, delay for a specific amount of time. We're just going to delay for a day. And then I'm going to send another email out. Okay, so you can kind of go through. This is whatever your subject line is. And again, your name, your email at gmail.com. Start building an email. Again, start to build out these different emails. You can set one up. You can always, once you've created one, you can save it as a template. And so now you have your version kind of saved. And so you can just use that one and make tweaks and kind of send ones over and over again. Maybe an email, a delay, an email, a delay. You can set up if then so that people can go different directions on things. Do a whole bunch of different stuff. But I did want to let you know that once you have, let's just save as template, new template, submit and save. Okay, so now we have this step. We have the email that gives them the actual thing. You can make a little note about it if you want to. This is the free guide. Did that show up? Oops. This is the free guide. There we go. Now I have a guide for that. I could make it a sticky note if I wanted to. Tell me what every step does in the process. So you can go through and do that for each of these. Again, delay, send email, etc. I do want to let you know, though, that if you only have like the trigger and then you send one email, everybody that goes through that process, once you've turned it on, here's how you would turn it on. Yep. Once it's turned on, now it's looking. It's looking who has a trigger that's been added. Once they get that trigger added, now they're going to get the email, right? But if they go through that and they've finished that off, now they're considered done. They're considered done with their automation. So if you then decide later on, oh, I want to add another email to this sequence, I want to add more to it, those people are already considered done with your automation flow as it was when it started. So you would need to set up a different automation flow for those people. So I do recommend, if you want to set up something like this, set up as many steps as you can first so that you don't have people kind of finishing up your automation before you're actually done with sending them stuff, right? So you want to just, write out a few emails, set up a few delays, set up a few emails, and then that way, if you wanted to add more to the list, you can, as long as they haven't gotten to that step yet, then they can go through. And the new people that come in will always get all of the steps. But anybody that goes through the automation and kind of stops, then you have to kind of kickstart them again with a different type of automation flow or different type of trigger to get them kind of moving through other channels as well. So again, that whole flow, I hope I didn't confuse anybody, but the whole flow is, in essence, we created a form. You can add that form anywhere. That form can be on any page. That form can be on its own page. That form can be in a pop-up, what have you. Then you want to actually deliver the product, whether it's delivering it on a page and an email or just delivering it on an email. And then again, in the email, again, whether it's MailChimp, MailerLite, any of those, you're doing that off there. Or if you're doing it within ShinePages, you set up a trigger with a tag, send out the email, set a delay, send another email, set a delay, send another email, and on and on. So I hope that helps explain things. That's kind of the overall flow. I am going to pick this off back here. I'm going to hide this and then just see if there's any other questions. I will be sure to look through the comments and answer them, but I hope this was helpful. Feel free to ask away. Happy to help anybody set this up. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.